What's up, guys? We are live. Beat the Line broadcast, episode 41, UFC Vegas 95. I'm your host, Picks by Pegasus, here with the crew, Dravi, Key 3 Picks. Key, you're back from your cruise. Give me the highlights and give me the downside. What was the best part of the cruise? What was the worst part of the cruise?
The worst part was watching Bruna Ellen get fucking cooked by Kuz from ATT. That was probably the worst part. And then on the way back, watching Sandhagen get fucking fried by Umar was fun too. We went to Turks and Caicos. That was probably the dopest part. Great water. Water was clear. I mean, super cool vibes. But yeah, I'm ready to get back to some winning this week.
Good, because you're going to be going first. First fight we have here is a low-level women's MMA fight. It's a rematch. It's Stephanie Luciano versus Talita Alencar. Stephanie Luciano, 5'1" 24, 5'6", with a 66-inch reach. Alencar is 33, 5'1", 58.5-inch reach. In the rematch, we watched Alencar, who's a jiu-jitsu girl, primarily, take down and out wrestle Luciano for 2 rounds and then gas and lose a 10-8 in the third. Do you think Luciano has the game plan pretty much set here for her rematch, and that's why she's a minus 200 favorite when she was a big underdog in the first fight?
She's minus 255 right now.
255? Oh, big buyback. Okay.
Oh, that's fun. I'll add on Bet Online right now, actually. I think that this is a pretty clear spot. I think that Stephanie Luciano should be like minus 225. In rematches, a wise man once told me that rematches don't ever go the same. But we go against that later on the card. But this rematch is a little different because they went to a draw the first time. In the draw, people don't understand that third round, I mean, Luciano was absolutely walking Alencar like a dog. I mean, some refs would have probably stopped the fight. The way that Alencar's body language was, she was getting dropped. She was barely getting up, like literally on all fours, having to get told to stood up. There's many refs who probably stopped that fight realistically. And if that fight gets stopped and she gets a round 3 stoppage, Luciano's probably lined here at minus 250 minimum. Because Alencar looked absolutely terrible late. And that's not something that is like new to Alencar. Alencar didn't look good. I thought that she lost versus Amanda. And I think that she's going to lose here. Luciano has all the late rounds 2 and 3. Upside goes completely to her. She didn't get like absolutely dominated. Like, yeah, Alencar got to the back and had some nice control spots. But it's not like she got absolutely just mauled. I mean, I think Alencar shot 24 takedowns and Luciano stopped 20 of them. And on the feet, this is not a fight. Like, let's get real here. Alencar has a big overhand, and she'll throw out a couple feeler jabs, but that's about it. I mean, we have like about an 8 to 9 inch reach advantage here, 5-inch height advantage. Cardio is on our side. I think that Luciano is going to put the punches together. And there's something too, we see in rematches, even with Bilal, there's something to feeling the person that first time. There's something about just feeling them and understanding their physics, their mechanics, and how they move. And I have to think that Luciano's put a bunch of takedown defense work in continuously and a lot of BJJ work. And on the feet, like I said, this isn't a fight. Like Alencar will get completely outclassed, in my opinion. So Alencar has been on a slightly of a fraud run to start her UFC career. Luciano's 24 years old. Alencar is about to turn 34. I think Luciano's the girl. I think that she has the aura here. She has, if there is any star power in this fight, she has it. And I'm pretty excited to see where she goes after this. She's a fun fighter, a fun girl. So yeah, Luciano at minus 145 for 3 units is what I played on Dub Club. What my guys got in the Dub Club and Discord. I'm surprised to see this line come back. If it's minus 155 while this is dropping, I'd still buy. I think that this is a great spot for her.
Yeah, I tend to agree. You broke it down perfectly. I think Luciano's aside. I'm glad it came back because now I'm probably going to be able to get in here. I'll probably get it on BetUS. Drop, you got anything different, or should we just move on to the next one?
Yeah, I agree with Key. I mean, the only thing is there's a big age and eye difference. Like, she's 9 years younger. We don't see this often in women MMA at this level. And the only thing I'll say is I'm not sure Alencar is going to gas as bad. I've listened to an interview about her. She said she was sick and she took the fight on short notice. So I think we should be noting that. I wanted to play Luciano round props because I thought she would finish late because the way the first fight played out. But she either gonna stop the takedowns easier this time out and find a finish, or she's just gonna be more patient and not follow her to the ground, because in reality in round three should have been a finish, but she kind of follow up to the ground a little bit too much. If you look at the first fight, I mean, Alencar did everything she could in the first two. She shoot a lot of takedowns. She got a lot of control time. She got to good position, and she couldn't finish the fight. So what it told me is she could take her down. She could have some grappling success, but I don't think she has any finishing upside here. And we know she's not going to be able to just wrestle fuck for 15 minutes. So with that being said, I think Luciano is going to win the third round at a high clip. And also, yeah, she lost the first round pretty clearly in the first fight, but in the second round, the momentum started to switch at the end of the round, because she got back up and she started to do damage. You could even argue that she won that round. So I think with a few adjustments, she can do way better than she did in the first fight. And Alencar, maybe she's not going to shoot a lot of takedowns like she did. And she just got and she just got her UFC debut on her way. Luciano didn't fight since then, so that's that. But I don't even think she won her UFC debut, to be honest. So yeah, Alencar is due for a loss here, and I think she might get finished, but I'll say a decision is more likely. But I think Luciano's going to land more volume, do more damage. She's going to have the better body language, because Alencar, as the fight goes on, the body language is terrible. So it's not going to be good for the judges. And if we go based on damage versus control, she should get it done. So yeah, I like her as well. And I tend to agree with Key. She should be around 70% here. So minus 155 is still good value for sure.
Yeah, I just grabbed it on BetUS for 1.5 units. Next fight, Jarno Errens versus Yusuf Zalal. Jarno Errens, 29, 5'11", 73-inch reach. Zalal, 27, 5'10", 75-inch reach. Obviously, this is Zalal's second stint in the UFC. It's pretty clear that when he came back and fought Billy Q, I want to say we all played him on dog odds. We did, right? We all got him dog odds that fight, or was it? I think that's how we other way around.
It was y'all too. I didn't join y'all there.
Yeah, then we got him at dog odds, and now it's obviously a huge market overcorrection, giving him minus 400. But right now, Zalal's minus 400, Jarno Errens plus 300. Personally, I think Zalal gets it done. I think the line is pretty wide at this point. Now it's getting to like minus 460 on some books, but I think he should have the striking to compete with Errens. I think he'll be able to do his like point boxing, kickboxing if he wants to. If anyone were to find the takedown, it's going to be Zalal. Jarno Errens, once he's on his back, plays his back and doesn't get back up. So any wrestling that happens, I think it's the round for Zalal. And then striking, I think it could be competitive, but I'll give Zalal the edge there too. So I don't mind him as a parlay. Actually, at this price, I probably wouldn't parlay him, but I don't know. What do you think, Trav?
Didn't you parlay him at this price?
I think I got him like a little bit lower, but I just needed it to get. We're going to talk about left-handed guy later, but I needed some chalk to get him a little bit lower.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, me and you both backed Zalal last fight pick, and he was plus money, like you said. So that's a good point about the market overcorrection. I agree with that big time. So yeah, he went from plus money to BBQ to minus 450 in the next fight. So there's clearly some recency bias and market overcorrection here. I don't think Errens is bad, to be honest. He's a pretty good striker, and he's big for the division. If you look just at the stat, he's supposed to be 5'11", but I'm pretty sure he's 6 feet. He's 6 feet tall, and yeah, he's gonna be bigger than Zalal. I know Zalal has a reach advantage, but I still think Errens is massive for the division, and he does hit hard, and the guy can pressure. He has a lot of volume, and yeah, he kind of impressed me in his last fight. To be honest, he had a very good performance. The problem with him is the grappling. Like you said, he doesn't have the best takedown defense, and I think he makes some mistakes in the grappling. So Zalal's the way better grappler here. So if he come out here and he try to wrestle and grapple, I think he's gonna have success, and he's potentially live for a sub as the fight goes on. But on the feet, I really think it's a close fight. I'm not even sure who I'm picking if the fight stays standing for 15 minutes. But yeah, I have to favor Zalal because of the grappling upside, but also because he fought the better competition. But to be honest, I think Billy Q is kind of washed at this point. One of the reasons I back Zalal here, I think Billy Q is a guy that, used to be able to take a lot of damage. has good cardio, lose the first part of the fight and take over as the fight goes on. But as your body's kind of, has a lot of mileage on it and you're not as fast, yeah, your style is going to go downfall way faster than more often than way more. It's gonna go down way worse than some other people. So yeah, I think Zalal look very good in this fight. Don't get me wrong, but I think we can also think that Billy Q is not. Even in the Damon Jackson fight, that was kind of a bad look for Billy Q. We're gonna talk about that fight a little bit later on. But yeah, overall, I think I think the fight's gonna be competitive on the feet, but I think Zalal probably gets it done via grappling and just having fought the better people. But yeah, I don't think you can really make an argument for Zalal higher than minus 230 at around 70%. I think it should be around maybe minus 200, minus 175. So at minus 145, minus 400 or something, I think it's a clear dog spot if you want to take it. I personally wanted to play Zalal by sub, but the odds for it are not good. I had some interest in sub 2-3. I think he has good front chokes. And I think he's live for like a Darce or a guillotine. But again, man, if you just watch both of their performance against Choi, I think Errens performing better in that fight. But to his credit, Zalal was younger back then and he was not as good as he is now. But yeah, minus 330 now on Errens. Yeah, I think if you want to take the dog shot, I think that's a good spot. But yeah, Zalal could submit him, but if he doesn't, I think it's going to be close if they go out 15s. And I think it's going to be close on volume. And yeah, man, the small cage also favor Errens in my opinion.
Key, anything different from you? Or what do you got for us?
Yeah, I'm having a hard time just like pulling the trigger. I mean, Errens is obviously a sign from a money line perspective. The values on him, this is a crazy market overcorrection. Yeah, Errens hits hard. But it just feels like he's a value loser here. It feels like Zalal's going to find a way to win. Zalal has good process. He's one of the few Factory X guys that I think really blends everything well together. I tend to don't like their style and what they have going on, but he actually blends stuff well together. He's also Macy Barber's boyfriend right now, so shout out to him. Zalal's going to win, and I guess keep on winning in life. So, yeah, Yusuf Zalal gets it done here, but plus 300 on Errens, I can't blame anybody.
Yeah. All right. I mean, Errens' spread could be interesting, too, if you think he's going to win at least a round. And if you don't think Zalal's going to finish, his spread will probably come out pretty high, I bet.
It's plus 120 on Bet Online now for his spread. I don't think it's bad, but again, if you think he can win a round, rather take the money line at plus 330 because, yeah, he could get submitted here. But, Peg, don't you like Errens? Did you bet him against Choi or something? I thought you backed him in some of his fight when we all passed on it. You were kind of high on him, higher than us at least.
Yeah, I can't remember which fight it was, to be honest. I bet him.
Choi. I mean, he almost got it done. He knocked him down and everything.
I think it was Choi too. Yeah, I think just because at that time I was just so low on Choi. And I thought Errens, the striking's good. It was only going to be a striking match, so I think that was.
He fought some good people outside the UFC also. I mean, I think the guy's pretty decent. Like we said, he's big, he has power, and yeah, very good uppercut also. But yeah, Zalal should win. I'm just saying that the line is wrong. So I think it's dog or pass for sure.
Okay, next fight: Carl Williams versus Janata Diniz. Carl Williams, 34, 6'3", 79-inch reach. Janata Diniz, 33, 6'4", 79.5-inch reach. Right now, the odds on these two guys, minus 200 for Williams, plus 175 for Diniz. I mean, this is a classic wrestler versus kickboxer. Last fight that was wrestler versus kickboxer, me and Key got cooked by Butka, whatever. I don't even know his first name. I think this fight's a little different. We saw Austin Lanes obviously get easy takedowns on Diniz, and he's a fish out of water on his back. Carl Williams has probably the better wrestling and grappling here. But obviously we've seen him chin, so it's kind of one of those fights. Key, what do you think? I think honestly, Carl Williams minus 200 is probably fine. I think I would probably maybe use him as a parlay piece, but I don't know. I'm not crazy about it. What do you think?
This will be pretty funny on Twitter because whoever wins is gonna like make it sound like they're like the world's like biggest genius of all time. Because either way, whoever wins, they're gonna look minus 500 most likely. Diniz will either smoke him early or Williams is going to take him to WrestleMania for 15 minutes. This is a very binary fight. In terms of value on the money line side, if I'm backing a minus 200 guy, I got to believe that you have some sort of finishing upside, like seriously. And Carl Williams can't finish a sandwich, it feels like right now. And so I do worry at the first 30 seconds of each round what that looks like until he hits a blast double. Because Diniz does strike hard, and he does. I think that the Austin Lane performance was pretty embarrassing all the way around. I had a pretty big Diniz bet too. And I thought that it was a pretty embarrassing performance. He made Austin Lane look like Craig Jones there. And luckily Austin Lane had a stroke, and then Diniz was able to put him away from there. But I think that Carl Williams is most likely, you have to side with the wrestler here. I think everybody sort of knows the game plan. If Diniz stops a couple takedowns, things can get interesting, or if he just flat out snipes them early. So round 1 KO isn't bad, in my opinion. You can wait for it to drop on some commercial books today and tomorrow. But, yeah, I think Diniz early or Carl just absolutely makes this look nasty.
Yeah, I thought the funny thing you said was Diniz stopping a takedown. That was a good joke, bro. I think Carl Williams is probably the side here. Like you said, probably play Diniz early KO, but that's probably his only upside. I know he carries power late, clearly with the Lanes fight, but we saw how gassed he was in that fight also. So I don't know. I think this is a Carl Williams setup spot. Job, do you think any different?
Yeah, I think different actually. First of all, he didn't look gassed at all in his last fight. He was fresh after the first round, after being hold down for 5 minutes, which is one of the reasons I like him. So obviously Williams is a good wrestler. I think he's decent for heavyweight. He has good cardio, good wrestling, and he's also a decent striker. But the guy get cracked a lot. He doesn't like being leg kicks. I think it was the Sherman fight, right? Like you got leg kicks badly, and the guy didn't know how to defend the leg kicks. And his leg were cooked, and now he's facing the best striker he ever fought. People are low on Diniz now because of his last fight, but let me tell you something. First of all, his takedown defense is better than what he's shown in his last fight. Probably one of the reasons you liked him. If you remember his original fight, the guy stopped a lot of takedowns. I know he was even against lower level guys, but still, he has good takedown defense in general. I don't think it's as bad as what people think right now. And Lane went 1 for 4. Like, he got him down once, and then it was the round. I agree with that. I don't like his get-up game, but his actual takedown defense, I don't think it's bad. And then it's like, Williams is a good wrestler. He's probably going to be able to get him down. But I don't like Diniz get up, but I also don't like Williams' top control, Williams is not good at controlling people on the mat. That's why you need to get takedowns over and over again. So it's like, also, Williams, he loves to strike. He's a decent striker, like I said. And Diniz is kind of hittable. And I'm pretty sure Williams is going to have striking success. So you're probably like, oh, Drive, if he has striking success, why he's not minus 200? I think the striking success he's going to have is going to play against him, because sometimes he's not going to just shoot the takedowns at the first 30 seconds of the round and just stay there. He strike with people. He likes it. I'm not saying he's not going to wrestle, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying the guy who's going to strike also, he's not just going to wrestle for 15 minutes. And if he has success on the feet, I think he's going to get cracked at some point. He got cracked against Staffa. He got hurt against, I think it was Bresky, who has no power whatsoever, and he doesn't know how to defend leg kicks. So it's like, I'm watching Dini's Instagram. The guy's working the wrestling. He's working hard on it, and the guy has nasty power. People don't realize that, but the guy's putting people lights out, like crazy knockout, scary knockout in kickboxing and in MMA. If you touch him once clean on the chin, I think he's going to hurt him, And also to note, I think he could win a decision, and that's my hot take of the week. I think I don't give any finishing upside to Williams. So to key point, if he doesn't have finishing upside and he's minus 200, what can go wrong with that, And he's going to try to top control people. And at heavyweight, I think we could see a scenario where the fight play out on the feet for 1.5 minutes, and then the rest, Williams gets some top control, but he doesn't do much on top, first of all. And then I think he's going to get cracked on the feet for the time the fight is there. So I think even if he gets 3 minutes of top control, I think he can still lose the round. Or let's say Diniz get back up and then he crack him bad, he can steal the round. So I think that's something people will not think about. Williams clear decision and Diniz clear KO. I disagree with that. Williams' path is a decision, but I think Diniz has some decision upside of his own. And I think he has all the finishing upside. He's also the bigger guy. He hits way harder. And I think his cardio was fine, to be honest. Like Lane was, I mean, first of all, Lane's a massive guy. It's not easy to get him out for you if he's in full mount. So Diniz showed that he can survive, stay safe for a round if needed. But after the second round, I mean, the guy was fresh. He got taken down. He got, top control and beat up for 4 minutes, and he was fresh in the second round. It showed me that even if it happened, he's still gonna be there in round 2 or 3. Even if he has all like round 1 and 2 finishes, Williams kind of slowed down in round 3. He has good cardio, but the way he rushed in when he shoot takedowns, it's quite bad. And I think he's a KO waiting to happen. So yeah, I think he can get knocked out when you're trying to rush in for a bad takedowns, and you get clipped with like a left hook. Then he's a very good left hook, and I think at distance he's gonna get cooked with the leg kicks. And like I said, I think he can win a decision based on doing more damage in general. So I think he could knock him out. I think he could win a decision. And yeah, I think the line should be a pick him, to be honest. And yeah, Diniz was plus 200 at some point. So yeah, I think he's gonna get it done. Everybody's on Paul Williams in the parlays, I know, but yeah, I really like Diniz here.
I think there's a better person on the card to parlay than Williams if you're going to play minus 200. I think it's in the next fight here. Rosa versus Pani Kianzad. Rosa, 29, 5'5", 67-inch reach. Pani Kianzad, 32, 5'7", 66-inch reach. Odds right now, Rosa's minus 200 to minus 210. Pani Kianzad is plus 170 to plus 150. Key, low-level girls, what do you think?
Yeah, man. I think the host is aside, but not at this price. I'm a Pani Kianzad fan. I think that she has actual skills. I think that she has real boxing, which is kind of refreshing on the women's side. But Pani just does not separate from a soul. I mean, it's insane how she just wants to fight close. And I guess that boxing background, we tend to see a lot of boxers in general just fight close and willing to take shots. But this is pretty crazy in my opinion. Rosa has all the grappling upside. We know that the leg kick upside is there. Pani has looked absolutely horrific on the mat her past 2 fights. I mean, Vieira made her look like a child for 3 rounds in London, and then Macy just subbed her OD fast. So this is a Rosa spot. If the line came down for minus 200, it's then it would be playable. Anybody who caught it early week, respect. If this line starts to get out of control, though, then the value shifts to Pani. I mean, this fight isn't going to be a one-sided fight. Pani's going to have moments. It just sucks that Pani refuses to separate from anybody, and this is potentially her last fight. I mean, there'll be a 3-fight skid, and she's not the most exciting girl on the planet. So this sucks, but I got to go with Rosa as a pick.
Yeah, I think Rosa's side too. You did the better breakdown. You always do. So, Job, you got anything different here?
I don't have a lot to say on this one. I wanted to bet Rosa by decision.
Thank God.
Yeah, I think Rosa decision is the way to play her, but now it kind of, the line was plus 110 on Bet Online. Now it's minus 105. I don't like it as much, but I mean, all of her fight in the UFC went the distance, all of them. But I think she looks pretty good in her last fight. The fight against Aldana was just a banger. But yeah, you made a good point about the leg kicks, and Kianzad has some problem checking the leg kicks. So I think Rosa can have leg kick success here. I think she has all the grappling upside. I think she's gonna land more volume. I think she's the side and she'll win the decision, but I don't see any finishing upside on both girls. The over got smashed though, but yeah, I don't see any finishing upside. I think Rosa win a decision, but she's kind of always fighting close, so maybe a 29-28 decision. So I wouldn't lay minus 200, but I think she's like a clear winner. So the decision prop can be interesting. I guess she's live for a sub, but Macy Chiasson's a good finisher, to be honest, and she's massive for the division. Rosa's just never finishing anybody in the UFC. So I think she won a decision, but Kianzad looked kind of washed, even if she's not that old, if that makes sense. But yeah.
I agree. I like the decision prop too. I mean, isn't the over like minus 400 for this fight, or is that the other girl's fight?
Minus 475.
That's what I'm saying. So make that make sense. Carl Rosa by decision is minus 105, but the over is minus 400. So I don't know. I'm just some guy.
I mean, bet online is like Kianzad decision plus 155, Kianzad money line plus 170. Where's the value, Peg? Where's the value, Key? Come on.
I know. Next fight. This is going to be a fun one. Charalampos Gregorio versus Toshiomi Kazama. A lot of people comment like, "Oh, Rob." Oh, that's my name. But well, Pegasus. He can't pronounce any names right. Be good enough in the UFC that I hear your name enough that I know how to pronounce it perfectly. If I got to try and read it out and break it down, you're not doing enough in the cage. Charalampos, 32, 5'7", 67-inch reach. Toshiomi Kazama, 27, 5'7", 69-inch reach. Odds on these gentlemen, Charalampos minus 230, Toshiomi Kazama plus 195. I think this is a clear Charalampos spot. I think Kazama sucks. I don't think he's good at all. I think Charalampos could probably find the KO here early. Actually, for this fight, I wouldn't play a side. I like the under. Under 1.5 is plus 115. I think that's the way to play it. Kazama has some sub upside. Other than that, Charalampos has pretty good striking upside. So I could see, an early finish. Chin of Kazama hasn't been great. So I think that's how I'd play it. Drav, what do you think?
Yeah, I think both guys are bad. I'm not like this fight to me should not be in the UFC, to be honest. I think Grigorgou has a higher upside. He has good leg kicks, decent power, and this guy Kazama just can't take a punch to save his life. He has a bad chin. But yeah, Grigorgou, he has bad cardio. I don't like his. I know he's at Starling and Merak camp, but I don't like his wrestling that much. He kind of gassed out last time out trying to wrestle. So yeah, I think he should get a knockout here. That's a spot where he should win. But again, the KO prop is nasty. It's at plus 110, plus 105. So I don't like that. I guess the under 1.5 kind of makes sense. I guess he has KO 1, KO 2 upside. But yeah, I'm probably not going to touch this fight. I think he wins. I think he should be the favorite. I think it's going to be by knockout. But I was hoping to get the knockout prop at plus 150. So yeah, they didn't do that. So yeah, props to them.
We'll see what commercial books give us. They may give us plus 130.
Yeah, I mean, on Bet365 and on Bet99, it's plus 105 and plus 110. So I think maybe the best we're gonna get is plus 120 or something. So yeah, I don't like.
I don't hate that either, though. Honestly.
Yeah, it's not bad. He should get a knockout, But again, he's just not that good. So
yeah, that's fair. Key, anything different from you?
No, this fight shouldn't be on the UFC card. I'd rather see Shauna Bannon versus Alice Ardeline rematch over this.
Fuck no.
All right, Key, you're going next again, so be ready. Yana Santos versus Chelsea Chandler. Yana Santos, 34, 5'8", 68.5-inch reach. Chelsea Chandler, 33, 5'8", 68-inch reach. So Yana Santos, we saw she posted on Instagram. She's straight off the titty milk. She's ready to go. She's ready. She's done being a mom. She's ready to be a fighter again. So she's going to bore us to a decision. I mean, Chelsea Chandler's dog shit. I think I bet her against Sorenko. I bet Dumont against her the second time. And then I didn't touch the fucking Nunes fight, I don't think. So, I mean, you got to think this is the biggest step up in competition for Chelsea Chandler. She's really not that good. She's just a bully. And Yana is a pretty big girl. So I don't think she's going to necessarily get bullied, but she doesn't separate fights either. So break it down for us, Kate.
Yeah. Fun little backstory. I bet against Chelsea Chandler's sister, Carlene Chandler, a couple months ago at Plus Money. And she fights damn near the exact same way as Chelsea, but just absolutely no skills or traits. And I'm honestly kind of concerned at what type of training that they're getting. I know that they're in the 209 and rep Stockton, but I mean, no game plans, just coming into the fight with vibes and just anger. And while Chelsea's a good meme, I bet her last time out against Josiane Nunes at plus, I believe it was like plus 120 or something.
Plus 120. I just realized I did too. Yeah.
Yeah. That, and I love that spot because I knew that she had grappling upside, and and she finally got Nunes to the ground and showed that there was levels in terms of grappling. But that's not the case here. It's hard to back Santos at favorite money because she just does absolutely nothing. I mean, you're just getting cage push with a couple hayas and a couple strikes, and then you're cage pushing again. And so the margins are just so thin for her in terms of winning. And so I can't back her at favorite money. But Chelsea Chandler is just not good. Like, just honestly, she's just not good. And she will continue to do fine against girls that she can bully and out physical. But Yana's a horse. And I mean, like Peg said, off the titty milk, I mean, she's ready to go now, out of mom mode. So, I mean, I think you have to give some sort of respect to Yana here. This could be either she's completely washed or she finds a way to get it done 29-28 here, most likely. So for that reason, it's probably a pass for me. Again, we'll just sort of wait and see if what matchups Chelsea Chandler can get in the future.
I want to know if she was drinking like some of her own titty milk, because she's fucking jacked now. So who knows? Job, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, she looked jacked, but I think she's kind of washed, if I'm being honest. Like, even her husband, Thiago Santos, he has been look washed now as in PFL. They're trained together. I don't think they take the sport as seriously anymore. And yeah, Chandler is not that good, but she's strong. She pressures. She has finishing upside, if anyone has in this one also, and she's plus money. I usually have a good read on Chandler. I mean, I've backed her against Nunes plus 133, and then I backed Dumont against her at plus 115. So, I'm good normally betting her or betting against her, but this spot is, if I had to like pick a side, I'm not even sure, because I have a feeling Santos win a decision, but my brain tell me that Chandler's the side at this number, if that makes sense. I think she's gonna be the one pressuring and do a little bit more, landing the bigger shot. And she has some top items to some top time upside. She could ground and pound, So yeah, Santos sometimes she can be a little bit fragile these days. So maybe now she look better, But yeah, it's not a fight I'm interested to touch. Even the over is tricky, because if you want to parlay that, I mean, Chandler has some finishing upside and she's super reckless. So I wouldn't touch that either. So I'm not even sure who I'm picking, but I guess I'll lean Chandler just because of the odds. Any plus money is good here. I think Chandler. Yeah, if I had to make a bet, I would take Chandler because of the odds. But again, I'm not confident in my read here, so you better listen to Key, or Peg. But we all don't have a strong read on it, so
yeah, I don't think it's
for us.
Next one's a quick one. Chris Gutierrez versus Quang Lee or Quang Lei. Chris Gutierrez, I don't know how I can mess up a last name. It's only 2 letters, but I'll figure out a way to do it. 33, 5'9", 6'7" reach for Chris. 32, 5'6", 70" reach for Quang, whatever it is. Odds, Gutierrez minus 360, Quang plus 265. I mean, I didn't tape the fight. That's the chalk. I think just take the chalk here. It's pretty short notice, and Chris has obviously got the better strength schedule. So, anyone else got anything different? Anyone tape it?
I'll go real quick. This is one fight I got to pull a Peg on. I hate to say it, but I didn't get the tape on this. I thought Bash was going to beat Gutierrez. But Gutierrez, just process-wise, unless there's just an insane mismatch, it's not somebody I want to be backing or parlaying at minus 350, minus 360 for some leg kicks and a jab here and there. So I'll pass on this fight.
Job, anything different for you?
Yeah, I mean, this guy, Quang Lee, he's not terrible, He has some grappling, he has some power. I watch his highlights, and I think I watch also his last fight. I think he's decent, He's just that's a step up in competition on short notice, making his UFC debut against a guy that has been fighting at a higher level of competition and has been in the top 15 at one point. So that's that's a hard task. And on the other end, that's a step down for Gutierrez fighting Song Yadong and all these guys. So yeah, but you kind of need to try to factor how many grappling success you think Lee's going to have and if he's going to be able to crack Gutierrez at some point. Because Gutierrez is a guy that loves to fight his fight. You know, you have to be technical, leg kicks. You don't want to have a firefight. You don't want to grapple that much. So if this guy come out here and he grapple heavy and you're just trying to put him out, maybe he's gonna have success. I've seen him putting people out cold. So yeah, I mean the guy's decent, like I said, but he was scheduled to fight next month. So I guess he was training, but I didn't look too much into it. I don't have much interest, but like he said, I wouldn't touch Gutierrez at minus 260. That's for sure. But yeah, if anything, you look a little bit into the dog if you like it, or maybe the over. But no, to be honest, I'm not so sure. I guess we're gonna be boring just picking Gutierrez and saying the fight's a pass. But yeah,
all right. Time is money. We're saving time, which means we're saving money. Danny Barlow versus Nikolay Veretennikov. Left-handed god, 29, 6'2", 79-inch reach. Nikolay is 34, 6'1", 74-inch reach, making his debut. Line on these two guys is minus 350 for Barlow, plus 285 for Veretennikov or whatever it is. I'm on Danny Barlow here. I think it's not going to be a left-handed god fight. I think it's going to be more of like just like a striking fight. Pretty boring on the stand-up. I don't think anyone's going to I don't think anyone's going to try and wrestle here. If anyone does try and wrestle, it's probably going to be Nikolay because of, we've seen Danny Barlow off his back. But other than that, I think it's just going to be a striking fight. I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy. I don't think anyone's going to take too many risks. Jav, what do you think?
Yeah, so as you guys know, I mean, left hand to God's my boy. I back him on the White Contender Series. I back him big in his debut. I like him a lot. The guy is a very good striker. You know what he's doing. He has massive power and he's super precise with the left hand. He has good footwork. I think he has a good chin also. And he's tough. He's a dog. People trying to fade him in his debut against what's his name? I don't even remember. Quinlan, right? He said maybe Quinlan's going to grapple him. That was all bullshit. I mean, he was always the side, minus 175. I mean, I've backed him for a lot of money there. That was an easy fight for him. I mean, Quinlan's just a punching bag, and the guy is supposedly a good grappler, but he's just not, So I know Barlow regional tape. You can maybe think that he has some grappling holes, and potentially against a good grappler that is durable, he's going to get exposed, but I don't think that's the fight. Nikolay, he does have some good grappling of his own, but he doesn't really push the grappling heavy, and he's 34 making his debut. The guy is massive for the division. I think he's going to have a tough weight cut, to be honest. But Barlow's even longer than him. He has big reach advantage, and I think that's going to play out for his style. Like I said, maybe this guy has some grappling success, but I don't really think he's going to have any submission upside. I've seen Barlow's on bad position on the ground in the regional, and the guy's not going to tap. He's not going to quit on himself. And even in the Quinlan fight, I mean, he broke his hand or his arm in round 1, and he still, we didn't even notice it, and he still find a kill shot. The guy's a dog, and like I said, he's the better striker here. He fought, this guy Nikolay, he fought some good competition. People probably going to talk about the Morales fight. First of all, when he fought Morales, I know Morales didn't finish him, and he kind of grappled to win the fight. But Morales was like 22 years old. He was not the same prospect as he is right now, and Morales didn't finish him. But I think Barlow's live to finish him here. I'm just not sure if he's going to knock him out late or if he's going to decision him, because this guy is pretty tough, I think he's durable. So I think there's a couple ways to play this fight. That's where I'm kind of hesitant. If you were able to get on Barlow money line earlier in the week at minus 300 and under, that's good. But now the current price, maybe you go Barlow KO2, KO3, but the odds on bet online for it are bad at the moment. They already know what's going to happen. Or you go the decision prop. I kind of like it also. I think you could outstrike him. and win the decision based on landing the bigger shot, the cleaner shot. Because, like I said, this guy's tough. He's not going to quit. But I think he's very hittable, and that's going to play against a guy that is super precise like Barlow, left hand to gut for a reason. I think he's going to find a kill shot at some point, but I wouldn't be surprised if he win a decision also. So I think he's the clear side. The odds kind of big, but yeah, again, I don't like the current price, but I think the earlier price were better. He's my guy. Again, the fade's going to come probably one day, but that's not the spot here, But
I agree. I mean, I parlayed him with chalk. I think I played him with Zalal at chalk. I think I added someone else to make it like -110. Next fight here, Chepe Mariscal versus Damon Jackson. Chepe Mariscal is 31, 5'7", 69-inch reach. Damon Jackson's 36, 5'11", 71-inch reach. Odds right now, Mariscal is -220, Jackson's +185. This is Mariscal's first time as favorite.
I mean, did Key talk last fight? Key, did you talk?
Oh shit, I didn't talk. Me and Peg had talked about it before, and that's what we were talking about.
Give your breakdown really quick, and then we'll
Barlow is your style of a striker normally. You like these guys.
I'm high on Barlow, but this price is a little out of hand. -360 is kind of crazy. -360 and then having an over at over 1.5 at -215, when I think that Barlow's traits and skills that translate to the UFC level is his power. And I understand people are saying, oh, late KO, and that's possible. But to justify this price tag, I'm looking to see an early knockout. I think that there's potentially some prop ways to play, whether that be 2-3 KO, or if you just KO straight, doesn't sound as nice to me, honestly. But Barlow's explosiveness. What'd you say?
I don't think he's gonna knock him out in one. I think it's gonna come out later. This guy's tough, I think that's why the over is juice.
Yeah, and that's cool. But if this guy is tough, then I don't want to see Barlow at -360. So I think that this is a Barlow spot. I mean, he's obviously the guy with the star power and aura here, and I think that he gets it done. But -360, I'm not willing to eat. So you can look at rounds 2-3 KO. But I think that Barlow's explosiveness and his ability to crack anybody early and in these wild exchanges, in my opinion, I believe that the under should be given a little bit more respect, no matter how tough this guy is. If you have Danny Barlow as this big of a favorite, I think that the under has to be somewhat down. But yeah.
All right. Like I said, I already did the breakdown for the next one. I'll go first. Pre-tape, I thought Damon Jackson was a side +200. Post-tape, I still think he's a side, but I'm a little more nervous about it just because I think this is a pretty straightforward fight. Damon Jackson gets the takedown and gets Chepe's back. He'll sit there for 15 minutes and do that over and over again. It'll get a little nerve-wracking in round 3 if Jackson gets tired. But I don't know. I think I give the grappling upside to Jackson. If it becomes like a dirty boxing and Chepe makes it dirty like he usually does, I think he could probably finish Damon Jackson. But I think it's got to be dog or pass here. Drav, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Jackson's going to get cooked here. He's due to getting knocked out. I know he got knocked out a year and a half ago, but I think he's due here. I mean, the guy's 36 now. He's weird because some fight he has good cardio, but I really think the guy slowed down and fall off a cliff after maybe 8-9 minutes, Hernandez dropped him in round 3, right? I think it was in round 3. And he's trying to sub him instead of going for the KO. The guy's just so dumb. But yeah, I mean, that's
on Alex Hernandez that fight too. I bet Alex Hernandez there.
Yeah, me too. I did. That was a dumb bet, but still, I mean, Jackson, like I said, the guy doesn't have a good chin. He's slowed down as the fight goes on, but he's a good wrestler. He's big for the division. He has good grappling, and he has decent volume on the feet. So I point out the BDQ fight earlier when we talk about Zalal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, Billy Q is kind of washed because of the Jackson fight. The Jackson fight was a big worry for Billy Q because Jackson had a ton of success early. He was landing a lot, but then Billy Q hurt him as the fight goes on, as he normally does. But I mean, Jackson has been hurt in a lot of fight, as the fight goes on. The Hernandez fight, he got hurt late. The BDQ fight, he got hurt, almost finished. The Ige fight, he got knocked out in round 2. The Arguella fight, the round 3, was a terrible look. And then Topuria, we're not even going to talk about that. But the guy's 36. He has a lot of fight, a lot of mileage. I think he's, like I said, slow down in round 3. He's reliable to get knocked out. And I don't think we all being high on Chepe Mariscal at this point. We tried to fade him a couple times. I thought my guy Shahriar won the last fight, but he's still a guy that find a way to win. So first of all, he fought good competition outside the UFC, and he's 3-0 in the UFC right now. He has some flaky win, like the Shahriar win should have been a loss probably, and the Jenkins loss. Kipra gonna talk about that. I'm sure he's still a little bit pissed about this one, and so am I. But yeah, I mean, my other point is the guys. Chepe, I thought he had a bad chin before coming into the UFC, but he got knocked out by Steve Garcia and Joe Anderson Brito. So when you look back into it, you're like, maybe he just got caught, And Jackson doesn't have power, first of all, but he has wrestling. Chepe did struggle against wrestler on the regional, but the guy is strong. The guy has good judo. He has good BJJ himself. I don't think Jackson's gonna just wrestle fucking for 15 minutes. I do think the first round's gonna be competitive. Probably Jackson win the first, maybe because he's bigger and maybe gonna try to grapple. But as the fight goes on, I really think Chepe is gonna have too much power and he's gonna be more durable than him. He's 5 years younger. I think he has the better cardio. And I think he wins just based on being more durable, having power, and being younger. So the guy also fought durable fighters in the UFC so far. Trevor Peak, say what you want about him. The guy's not skilled, but he's tough as shit. So he cracked Peak a couple times in that fight. After that, Jenkins, that was an injury, but Jenkins super tough, and Shahriar is also super durable. So now he's fighting a guy in Jackson who doesn't have a good chin. So that's a spot where I feel like Chepe Power is going to shine and he's going to be able to find a knockout at some point. I don't really see a sub. I think the KO prop is fine. I think KO 2-3 is also good depending on how you want to play it. If there's not a big difference between ITD and KO on your book, I mean, go with ITD for him. But yeah, I think he's going to get a knockout as the fight goes on. And personally, I see a KO late in round 3. So yeah, I think Chepe win this fight, but I wouldn't lay minus 230 because first time he ever been favored in the UFC fight. That's all against a good fighter, and like I said, I think he could win. I think he could lose round 1. So if you want to look at the money line, I think that's a better opportunity to wait for a live spot on Chepe. But I think there's some good props to play for him, and I think that's a spot where you get a knockout and the market's kind of giving a good price a little bit because they're thinking he's kind of a decision machine. So, yeah. So I think Chepe get a knockout here.
Key, what do you think here?
Yeah, fuck Chepe. For being honest, fuck Chepe. Guys should be 1-2 in the UFC. Jack Jenkins fluke, fucking elbow dislocation. Like, come on, dog. And then Shahriar, I thought, like, clearly won that fight. I mean, the takedown that he hit in that third round, I believe it was
the fight was a banger, right?
Yeah, that was a great fight. But I thought that Shahriar did the better work.
Yeah.
In this spot, Jackson, it feels like he's just another meme waiting to happen. But Chepe he doesn't like truly just sit down on any, like, he has power, but it's not like he's walking guys down just like in boxing range, throwing nothing but hands. I like his front kicks. I do think that he's going to win here. I think that he's going to have the more active volume. I know that he's training at elevation. And so he's going to have the volume here. I think that he gets it done. Maybe I'm biased because Chepe has fucked me twice in a row now off of fluke-ass wins. But I'm not willing to play Chepe minus 220. I think the KO could be a good look. Jackson's chinny, and Chepe's going to have the volume upside. So KO could be a good look, but this will most likely be a pass fight for me.
Yeah, the leg kick's also going to be there. The guy has some nasty leg kicks, training with JG for a long time at elevation, like you said. So I think he's going to beat up Jackson legs pretty badly also. And I think it's going to lead to a KO as the fight goes on.
Okay, guys, I totally forgot to do this. Please like, comment, subscribe on the video. We appreciate the subs. We want to get more subscribers on here. I think that's pretty much it. We do this for free. We are the best show on YouTube right now, most profitable. And we do it all for free. So what are you going to do? Main event, Marcin Tybura versus Sergey Spivac. This is a rematch. This is their second fight. Tybura won the first one. Tybura is 38, 6'3", 78-inch reach. Spivac is 29, 6'3", 78-inch reach as well. Lined right now, Tybura is plus 135. Sergey Spivac's minus 160. I'll go first just because mine's quick. I played Tybura. I think after watching the first fight and watching Tybura's last few fights, I don't see how you could line Spivac as a favorite. I don't really see how that could go. I think 5 rounds also favors Tybura. Sergey's probably live early, but after that, I think it's all Marcin Tybura. I think from like an improvement standpoint, if you look at Spivac's Instagram, he is in better shape. He's not as chubby anymore. Now he's actually like in pretty decent shape for a heavyweight. So I think that's a little concerning, considering he was a little chubby when they fought the first time. But I'm not sure if there's enough there to, make substance or make him minus 160 here. I think this is a clear dog or pass. I did a poll earlier this week, and it's got 86 votes, and it looks like 50% of people think Tybura is the dog of the week. So could be concerning. Key, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not liking all the public love for Tybura. I just put him as a free bet last night. I'm surprised at this. I think at worst, this should be a pick'em again. At absolute worst. I know people are talking about the weight difference and stuff, but Spivac, we're acting like this isn't a 5-round fight. If anything, the weight is giving me more confidence that Spivac's going to gas rounds 3 through 5. And I think that those are rounds that Tybura will just absolutely outwork him. I'm not saying that either guy's going to look like some wide favorite. This isn't necessarily going to be a runaway fight. But I'm not saying there's going to be a rerun of the first fight. But rounds 3 through 5, I'm very confident that Tybura is going to snag those. Rounds 1 and 2, I mean, are we sitting here acting like Spivac is dropping anybody? I mean, I don't think that he's dropped anybody in the UFC. Like, yeah, he has KOs, but these are ground and pound KOs against fat, sloppy strikers that can't defend a takedown. So I think those wins, Greg Hardy, Augusto Sakai was not even in the UFC anymore. Greg Hardy, same thing. Derek Lewis, Alexei Oleinik, these wins are not moving me at all. I actually think all 6 of his last wins, or 5 out of the last 6 wins, not in the UFC anymore. So, I mean, we got to get real about this guy. I mean, people are talking about like he's fucking Tyson Fury this week. Yeah, I think he has a little bit of pop, but like, let's get real here. And the Cyril Gane fight, I know some people are talking about that super heavy, and it's less about Cyril Gane because Cyril Gane is just levels above Tybura and Spivac. But it's the fact that he just flat out quit in that fight. Like, he was just literally a punching bag. He didn't try anything. I mean, Cyril Gane's just cooking him, flat out cooking him. And Spivac showed a lot of quit. And that to me is not a good sign. I know that he's married to the PFL girl and has been working with her. And I know that Peg let us know of some training issues last time out. I think the Tybura is going to stick to a game plan. I know that he's a smart guy. Outside of him getting KO'd here, I'm not sure how Spivac's going to win this fight. He's not going to just out-wrestle Tybura. And I think that this is a spot where Tybura is going to win the late rounds, and he has wrestling upside himself. So I'm not saying that it's going to look easy early, and this could be a live bet spot also. I'm not saying that this is going to look easy early, but all late round upside goes to Tybura. And for that reason alone, in a 5-rounder, I have to back the dog.
Yep. All right, Drav, what do you got for us?
Yeah, that's also my free bet of the week. Tybura season, baby. But yeah, it's kind of hard to be confident in this guy at the same time because, he's 38 years old. He doesn't have much finishing upside. But the one thing people are going to talk about all week is the 20-pound difference, right? So when they first fought, Sergey was like 1-1 in the UFC. That was his first time going into a round 3 in a fight or in a decision also. And he was way smarter back then. So now he put on 20 pounds since the first fight, and that's more muscle than anything. So the guy's bigger, and now he has more experience. And Tybura got older. He's 38. So there's like an 8 years difference between the two. So that favors Sergey, obviously. But I think the age difference as heavyweight doesn't matter as much as lower weight classes. So that's the first thing I'll say. And another thing is Spivac's kind of a, kind of a quitter in my opinion. Like he's a very good nail, but he's a bad how do I say that? He's a good nail, but a bad hammer. No, he's a good hammer, but
Good hammer, bad nail.
All right, I do it the other way around. But yeah, I think the guy's a terrible nail, to be honest. Like when things are not going his way, he doesn't like that. He doesn't like being hit. He doesn't like the Tybura. I know the guy got knocked out a couple of times, but you need to put him out. You need to put him out if you want to win. The guy's he's not going to quit on himself. Romanov fight's a good look. People are probably going to talk about that as a bad look, but the guy got rock dollar in round one. He almost 10-8 in round one. We can say 10-8, right? And then he come back round 2-3 and he cooked him. Spivac doesn't have the best cardio, guys. Like he's just not. The Oleinik fight is very concerning. He slowed down a lot after 2 rounds. We know Tybura has good cardio for a heavyweight. He has 5-round experience. He's probably not going to slow down. And if he does slow down, he fight better when he's tired than Spivac. The guy wants to win. And the biggest difference here, and I've not listened to anybody talk about it this week yet, but Spivac get-up game is awful. And he has not fought a wrestler since then. He fought Oleinik, but when Oleinik was on top, he didn't have no answer whatsoever. He has no get-up game. Tybura is a good grappler of his own, and he has shown us that he could land takedowns here. If he does land one takedown, that's the round. That's it, okay? Spivac, he has good wrestling, good judo, everything. But first of all, he does mistakes, and he did mistakes in the first fight, and Tybura would capitalize on it, took his back, and took him down, right? Now people are going to say he improved. In the Sakai fight, he dominated Sakai, but he did the same mistake in the clinch, giving up his back. The same exact mistake. If he does that, he's going to get taken down again. And also in the first fight, Tybura was the one shooting takedowns. Is he going to be the one shooting again? If he does, he's going to win easily. If he doesn't, I think Spivac's slightly the better boxer. He has a good jab, the hands are good, but I think he's going to fall off the cliff after 2 rounds. And that's his first 5 rounders, and I think that's going to be a disaster for him and his style. He has some early finishing upside, but I don't really think he's going to finish Tybura on the ground. He has not knocked down anyone on the feet, so he does have some pop on the feet, but that is not the best of all time in the striking. Don't get fooled here. So yeah, Tybura, if he gets taken down, Spivac doesn't have good top control. That's why you need to take people down over and over again. Tybura is going to be able to get back up, and Spivac is not going to be able to if he gets taken down, So that's a big thing. And also, what happened if he gets taken down in round 1 and dominated on the mat? That's a fight. He's done. He's not going to come back after that. He's just not. If Tybura gets taken down early, maybe he will. By the way, I think Spivac has some upside to win the first round at a decent clip. If he does, Tybura is still going to be there in round 2. He's still going to be there in round 3. And, the guy's still going to fight even if he's fatigued. So I think he's the clear side here. I think it's going to be competitive in the striking. I lean Spivac a little bit. The guy also, like I said, he's younger and he has potentially the higher ceiling at this point. I understand that. But to me, the get-up game, straight awful. The fight that he didn't fight a wrestler and he fought striker since then. I think he's going to be able to capitalize, and I think Tybura is going to either win a decision or find a finish late at some point, to be honest. And what else? Yeah, so as you guys know, I hate to go on the same guy in a rematch. That one of my strategies is to bet the opposite thing at the first fight because people tend to improve, and Spivac did improve a little bit in the striking, and he got bigger. So I don't mind Spivac angle, but not at the price. We're playing numbers at the end of the day. And I thought maybe Tybura will be a slight favorite. I think he should be around minus 125, 55%, because of the 5 rounds, because of the cardio, and because of the tough time upside. So the bookies are saying, no, he's plus 130. So that's a bit different now. You're betting the guy that has shown to just hot work the guy in the first fight, win 30-27 or 29-28. Now they rematch a few years later, and he's still the underdog. That's different. If he was the favorite, maybe I'll make a case for Spivac because of my strategy. But yeah, I think Tybura gets it done. And I think the line should be flipped. I think he should be the minus 125, minus 130 favorite. And people are still betting Spivac at minus 150. I don't understand. What's the upside here? You might finish him early, but what after that? What happened? He's gonna get cooked. So I also believe Tybura is a good live bet spot if you want to bet him after round one. But yeah, I think that the line now is good to play, and yeah, plus money. The plus money is not justified in my opinion. At worst, it should be a pick 'em. That's how I see it.
I think if you're going to look to play Tybura as well, you may as well put, if you say you want to take the live approach, which I'll be doing as well, add some money now, and then you can add more later, because I think we may not get a good line after. I mean, round one should be Spivac realistically, but just in case you don't get that live line, I think it's, like Drop said, it's pretty good at this price. Okay, that's the show. Let's do the BTL parlay quick. My leg is going to be Carol Rosa money line. Key, what do you got?
Stephanie Luciano money line minus 150.
All right. I'll take fucking Grigorgou minus 230. If you cuss me, you just suck if you lose this fight. So yeah, so Carl Rosa minus 200, Grigorgou minus 230, and Luciano minus 150. 3 legs parlay give us plus 259. So yeah, let's get it, boys.
All right, guys. Again, that's Carl Rosa minus 200, Stephanie Luciano minus 155, and Gregorio minus 230, all for plus 259. I'm your host, Vegas Picks. Everything's free in my Telegram. Join it. What do you guys got going on? Any specials for you too?
Nothing much this week. You know, I decided to stick to the UFC. I wanted to bet or take some Invicta, but the line are like minus 500 and higher, so I'm not even gonna take that. And yeah, I'm gonna take some Dana White Contender Series either today or tomorrow, because that's we're gonna do the podcast for this week also. So we're gonna see you guys soon. Pig's gonna talk about it. We almost forgot. So we're gonna do Dana White Contender Series show. So I'm gonna be taping the card for that. That's gonna be fun. And yeah, for this week, I know people hate this card, but I think there's some good spots. And sometimes when we have these cards and nobody care about the lines or anything, that's where I think we get the best value. So ready to kill it. I have some big bets locked in. So if you guys want to join up, you know what's up, the Dub Club. So yeah, best of luck this week. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys sooner than later this week. So
yeah, and definitely, like Drop said, I completely forgot that too. We will be doing Dana White Contender Series. We're going to try and get videos out late afternoon or at nighttime every Sunday, so it gives you guys good time to bet it. So yeah, we'll definitely start doing Dana White Contender Series. So you guys will be seeing us twice a week. I think it's a privilege to have, so you better subscribe. Key, what do you got?
Yeah, same thing as usual. Key 3 picks, Dub Club and Discord. DM me code BTL, and I'll give you an extra promo code for your first month and 3-month package if you want. Been cooking, trying to get back to winning ways. We're up over 54 units this year. Prize picks, underdog fantasy, book bets, DFS cores, live bets. We do it all in there. I did just put out an Invicta bet right now while we were recording this. So hop on, grab some bets right now. Shaping up to be a huge week. I just dropped a 10 unit max bet earlier on DraftKings earlier this week. So yeah, drop into Discord and let's have some fun.
And Drop forgot to mention, if you send him a screenshot of you being subscribed to the channel, he'll give you 1 month free to his Dub Club. So that's a promo he's running. And if you do the same thing for Key, he'll pay for your next cruise, because that's how much money these guys are making right now.
Peg meant to say that he will give you free access to his Telegram.
Yeah. So always, yes, you got to just DM me to subscribe, and I'll let you into the Telegram for free. That's the show, guys. Thanks for joining us.
We're gonna do a giveaway next week, right? So we're gonna.
Okay.
We're not going to talk about it right now, but we have a little surprise for you guys next week. So
yeah, we got a little giveaway. We're going to have a good guest for 305. You'll see us Sunday night again, and you'll see us again next Wednesday. I think we're going to go live for that one. Since it's a paper.
Yeah. 305 will go live for sure. We're going to have some disagreement in the main event. It's going to be fun. So yeah, see you guys later on this week. And yeah.
That's it, guys. All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys Sunday. Peace.